Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, Tassif here. Welcome to a brand new live stream. If you are here, please introduce yourself. The Journey to Justice is here. Hello, how are you? Hope things are well. Let's see who else is here. All right, my friends, welcome to my live stream. My channel is about social and political issues, both domestic and international. If you have watched my videos before, you already know this. For those who are new, for those who are here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. By subscribing, you can stay connected. And hopefully when you subscribe, I think you're supposed to get notifications the next time I start a live stream or I publish a video. So please subscribe and stay connected, and like this video. I'm going to be discussing some very important things. So sorry, my desk is a little not so organized. So it's taking me a while to get started here. Okay, the Journey to Justice is here. Scott Wells is here. Steve is here. Hello, everyone. Now, I have to apologize at the very start of this live stream because yesterday I was supposed to do a special live stream at 9 p.m. Central Time. I said that I would do two live streams, one at 9 p.m. Central Time, one at 11 p.m. Central Time. The first one was supposed to be with, the first one at 9 p.m. was supposed to feature a special guest, State Representative Tony Kurtz, who is a very good friend of mine. I have known him for many years. He's a state representative here in Wisconsin, so he's a member of the Wisconsin State Assembly. And so here's what happened. At 9 p.m. Central Time, both Tony and myself, we were in front of our cameras. We were ready to start the live stream, okay? Because I am the host. The way it works is after the guest joins, I'm able to see that. Then I have to click go live on my end in order for the video to go live. And I kept pressing go live. And for some reason, YouTube was showing me a notification. I forget the exact words, but it was something like unable to connect. What happened, I believe, is that because of the hurricane yesterday, because of Hurricane Milton yesterday, maybe there was something wrong, in the world of the internet. Maybe there was an issue, which is why we couldn't connect, because there was no issue on my end with regard to my internet. There was no issue on Tony's end, but I think because, I could see him after he joined and he could see me. So before we go live, there's what's called a preview mode. So I can talk to my guest on a preview mode. No one else can see it because we're not live yet. And so we were chatting for a minute or two, just making sure our cameras are aligned and all that. And as soon as I kept hitting go live, it just wouldn't go live. And then there was an option to end stream or try again. And I kept trying again. It just wouldn't work. So what I did was I ended that stream. I started a new stream, gave it a second shot. It just didn't work for whatever reason. And so then, I published an apology note, just letting people know that due to severe technical issues, can't do the live stream featuring special guest Tony Kurtz. And so the event would be would be rescheduled. Okay. So anyway, it was not an issue on my end because I had other devices connected to the internet. So everything else was smooth. My laptop, which I connect to my Wi-Fi, that was going okay. And then there was no issue on Tony's end either because I could communicate with Tony. It was an issue with, I believe, this platform. For some reason, it didn't connect. So I assumed that it's probably an issue with, YouTube or, some internet issue that's beyond my control. Anyway, I was kind of sad not to be able to do that, because we are less than 30 days away from the election, and I really wanted to make sure that the viewers get to hear the questions that I ask my special guest Tony Kurtz, state representative, and the answer. So there were lots of things to discuss. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it. So I will be rescheduling that event. So stay tuned for that. Okay. All right, my friends. I see a lot of viewers here. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. And I know some of you tuned in yesterday for the live stream, and it just didn't happen. So I apologize for that. So my friends, I do have some very important things to discuss today, because also, not only could I not do the 9 p.m. Central Time live stream yesterday, I also didn't do the 11 p.m. Central Time live stream. So that's okay. I skipped a day. I try to do live streams every day, so I had to skip a day. Not my fault. Technological issue. But I have a lot to discuss today. A lot to discuss. And I'm going to get to that. Okay. Mikey writes, how come there's no sound? Mikey, are you not hearing me? Are you saying there's no sound? I want others to let me know if you're hearing me properly or not. William writes, I hear you. Gerlina writes, MAGA. Gerlina, welcome. That's what I like to hear, MAGA. Make America Great Again. Are you hearing me? LB writes, I hear you. Helena writes, hey. Okay. All right. Scott Wells writes, I can hear you. Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, wonderful. Lots of viewers who can hear me clearly. Heidi Smith is here. And Heidi has written what I love to hear, which is loud and clear, which means Heidi and many others can hear me loud and clear. That is excellent. All right, my friends. Hurricane Milton has caused devastation in Florida. The storm made landfall on Wednesday as a Category 3 hurricane. So remember, as Hurricane Milton was heading towards Florida, it strengthened to a Category 5, then it weakened a little bit to a Category 4, then it strengthened again to Category 5. Eventually, it made landfall as a Category 3 hurricane, roughly 70 miles south of Tampa, Florida. Okay? Roughly 70 miles south of Tampa. And, the information is being updated every half hour, every hour, every 2 hours, all the time. And so whatever I tell you is what I know as the latest. But if during the live stream there's more, if during this live stream there's more updated information, then I'm not aware of that. So whatever I'm telling you is what I know as of, as of the moment that I started the live stream. But there may be new information. Okay. So a viewer named Wizdroid is asking irrelevant question. Irrelevant. And Wizdroid writes no sound, but I know there's sound because Heidi told me and many others told me that you can hear me loud and clear. Loud and clear. Okay, my friends. Reportedly 3 million are without power. 3 million without power. That is, I don't know. I don't know what to say. In this day and age, with so much of technology, with so much of technological advancement, when you hear 3 million people are without power, 3 million without power, it just tells you that no matter what we do technologically, no matter how advanced we are technologically, no matter how much of progress we make technologically, but when it comes to man versus nature, nature is always going to win. Nature is always going to win. And so, human beings like to think that we're very smart and we're, we know a lot. Yes, we do. Yes, we know a lot. We have accomplished a lot. We have learned a lot. But nature is always smarter than all of us. We cannot fight nature. So whether it's hurricanes or storms or tornadoes, tsunamis, whatever, nature is always more powerful. We are helpless when it comes to, dealing with nature. We just can't. Nature is beautiful. Nature is beautiful, but nature also has a very fierce side to it. The beauty of nature is in the form of green grass, beautiful flowers, the lovely breeze, the warmth, butterflies, right? So much more. Look at the animal kingdom. So beautiful. That's the beautiful side of nature. But then there's the fierce side of nature. The tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, cyclones, tornadoes. Here in the Midwest, we get a lot of tornadoes. At least we get a lot of tornado warnings. We are helpless. We are helpless. There's nothing we can do to stop a hurricane. Neither should we try. We should not try. Some people may try to come up with ways to stop a hurricane. I don't know if that's even possible, but people are always coming up with different ideas, different things, but we cannot stop the forces of nature. We just can't. Okay? We just can't. William Miller wrote a very thoughtful comment. William Miller wrote, "We rent the land from Mother Earth, and we act like we own it." That's true. This earth, we say the earth belongs to us, but really, we're here for a very short span of time. When you look at each human life, even if you live to be 100, which a lot of people live to be 100, not a whole lot, but there are people who live to be 100. But even 100 years is really nothing when you look at where it all started and how far we're going to go. We don't know. When did it all start? When did creation start, right? When did civilization start? How did we get here? I mean, that length of time, you can't really measure it. And we truly are. Even if you live to be 100, even if somehow you live to be 200 years old, it's still a very small, it's just very, very little time given, given the bigger picture. So my friends, 3 million without power, Um, the hurricane has also resulted in tornadoes, and last I saw, uh, 8 people died, is what the report said. 8 people died. I mean, 8 lives. Oh, it says at least 8. At least 8 are dead. At least. Okay? So likely more than 8. And not too long ago, there was Hurricane Helene, which caused devastation. Many people died. Many people died. We know that. Because of Hurricane Helene. And here we are looking at the aftermath of Hurricane Milton, and reportedly at least 8 people have died. At least 8 people. So it's likely more. We don't know yet. But 8 lives lost. 8 lives lost. It's a tragedy. It is a tragedy, and we must continue to pray for all those who have been affected by the hurricane. I should say the hurricanes, Helene and Milton. Let's continue to pray for the people, and let's continue to pray for the families who have lost their loved ones. Let's pray for the departed souls. At least 8 people have died, according to reports. It is heartbreaking. And in terms of property damage, it's widespread. Widespread property damage. The hurricane has also reportedly torn a roof off of a baseball stadium. So a baseball stadium's roof was torn, okay, because of the hurricane. You may have seen that in the news. And I don't know the actual dollar figure of the damage. There's probably going to be some estimate at some point that we're going to know how many billions of dollars worth of damage has taken place. I mean, it's just widespread damage, devastation. It's unbelievable. Tyler writes, "Are you a lawyer?" I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I've answered that. By the way, because I do get questions from my viewers, people ask me, "What do you do? Who are you? Are you a lawyer? Are you a doctor?" I'm neither a lawyer nor a doctor, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post a link to my website. Anyone who wants to know more about me, you can just click on it. Because I think I have shared my bio in my own words quite a bit. I've said what I do, my accomplishments, what keeps me busy. I've talked about that here. So now I'm not going to go into details. You can just click on that link and find out more. All right. By the way, I'm drinking, the last few days I was drinking green tea, I believe, and now I'm back to my English breakfast, hot tea. The tea is English breakfast, but obviously it's nighttime, so I'm not having breakfast. But what I did was no milk, just black tea, but I added a decent amount of honey, so it's sweet. It's great. It's not the sugar sweet, it's the honey sweet, which is better. Papa writes, a viewer named Papa writes, "You need to run for Congress." Do I need to run for Congress? Thank you. Thanks for that vote of confidence. Because you're asking me to run for Congress, I'm assuming you would support if I did. But all I can tell you is that I am not on the ballot in 2024. I don't know what the future has. Okay, we'll see what the future has. The future is uncertain. But thank you for your vote of confidence. A viewer writes, chamomile tea is good. Yeah, I know it is. I've never, I don't think I've ever had chamomile tea, but I know a lot of people like it. Okay. William Miller writes, any polls today? Oh, I didn't think about it. See, I have had such a busy day, that I literally came back home like maybe an hour before I started this live stream. Excuse me. I started this, I came back home an hour before I started this live stream. So I really didn't have an opportunity to come up with a poll question, but let's see. Let me actually come up with a poll question. Give me 1 second. I think I have something in mind. Okay, hold on. I have an interesting question I'm gonna ask you. Okay. So you may have heard that Democrat Tim Walz, okay? Tim Walz. I'm going to come back to the discussion of Hurricane Milton, but just because, William asked me if I'm going to do any poll today, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and ask a poll question. And this is something that I'm going to be discussing a little later, but I want to publish the poll question. Democrat Tim Walz, okay, who is Kamala Harris's running mate. So Kamala picked Tim Walz as her running mate. And Tim Walz said that he supports abolishing Electoral College. Okay? Walz, by the way, I have a lot of things to say about Walz, but I'm trying not to say all that I have on my mind just because it's going to sound very harsh if I talk about Tim Walz, if I just tell you what I think about him, my opinion about him. Back when Joe Biden, when he was running, and he picked Kamala Harris as the running mate, it seemed to me that Kamala Harris, like Joe Biden, picked the worst running mate for a presidential election. That's what I thought back then. Back when I found out that Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris as the running mate when Joe Biden was running, I thought, well, this is the worst choice of a running mate that you can make. Okay? I was wrong. I will admit. When I'm wrong, I admit that. I was wrong. Kamala Harris is not the worst running mate. I think Tim Walz is the worst running mate. Tim Walz is the worst running mate. So if Harris-Walz ticket wins, then we are going to have the worst president in American history, and we're going to have the worst vice president in American history. Okay, so if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they win, it's going to be The worst president ever in American history and the worst vice president ever. I mean, Tim Walz, I'm not going to say too much. Listen, I'm going to ask a question here. Okay, so Democrat Tim Walz, he said that he wants to abolish the Electoral College. Okay, so Tim Walz, he does not care about our Constitution. Tim Walz doesn't care about law and order. He doesn't care about rule of law. He wants to abolish the Electoral College. My question is, do you support or oppose Walz's idea? Okay? Okay? That's the question I'm going to ask you. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm going to put that here. Okay. Democrat Tim Walz wants to abolish the Electoral College. Do you support or oppose Walz's idea? That's the poll question today. Wow, 88% opposing Walz. Awesome. I oppose Walz too. Okay. So I'm going to let you vote on that. I'm going to come back to that discussion, but as I was saying, Hurricane Milton caused a lot of damage, and I'll share with you one thing, some thoughts that I have, some observation that I have that I think I should share with you. So before a hurricane, as a hurricane is making its way towards the land, we often see that the government asks people to evacuate. If it's too serious, there's mandatory evacuation. Like this time in Florida, there were places where there was mandatory evacuation. The government said, you need to leave. That's what the government told the people. You need to get out, go, leave, because it's dangerous if you stay. Now, I do understand that for a lot of people, it's not very easy. Okay, William, you're saying I'm insulted. What happened, William? Who insulted you, William? All right. Anyway, I'll wait for your comments. Okay. All right. Let me continue. Oh, William Miller writes, Harris supporters want 4 more years of destruction to this. Harris supporters, those who are supporting Kamala Harris, you just have to open your eyes. That's what you have to do. I mean, if you support Harris, your eyes are closed right now. Your ears are closed. Okay? There's fog all around you. You can't see, even if, you can't see what's going on. That's why you're supporting Harris. Anyone who's supporting Harris, you're not able to see the reality. Okay? You have to open your eyes. You have to get away from the fog. You have to clear your mind. You have to have your ears all open so you can see, so you can hear, so you can process reality. And if you do that, all the Harris supporters will realize that Trump is the right guy to vote for. You just have to open your eyes. All right. So the government asks people to evacuate. before a dangerous hurricane. Now, one thing that I have understood is that Sandra writes, "Hello, how are you, Toss?" I'm doing well, Sandra. Thank you for asking. It's not very easy to evacuate prior to a hurricane. It's just not, because there's usually not enough time, and evacuation is not very easy. I understand why the government imposes mandatory evacuation. And I understand, because the first priority is to keep people safe, right? And I like it when the government says ahead of time, hey, the storm is coming. It's a category 4, category 5. It's going to be dangerous. You need to evacuate. Get out as fast as you can. Go somewhere safe. Don't stay here, because if you do, the storm surge and 10 feet wave, 15 feet wave, it's going to be really bad. So I understand the government's point of view. But what I'm telling you is that for a lot of people in this economy, it's not easy to evacuate, because, evacuating is not cheap. And then again, the question is, where would a person go? So let's say you are an individual, you're working hard, maybe 2 jobs, 3 jobs, you're living in your small city, village, wherever, big city, village, and suddenly the government tells you, hey, there's a storm coming. There's mandatory evacuation. You need to get out as fast as you can. If you are struggling, if you don't have emergency funds saved, a lot of people don't. A lot of people will not be able to handle a $1,000 emergency. What does that mean? A lot of people are living their lives in a way, they're struggling so much financially that, let's say there's an emergency and that person now needs $1,000 or $900 or $1,100 to address that emergency. That person doesn't have those funds. So mandatory evacuation, I know it's the right thing to do in case of a dangerous hurricane, but the reality on the ground is people are living, as Carol wrote, paycheck to paycheck. People are living paycheck to paycheck. So if the government says, hey, you need to get out, well, a lot of people don't have anywhere to go. A lot of people don't have anywhere to go. And you can't, if you go somewhere, if you move, let's say you're going to get into your car and drive 200 miles or 300 miles and get away from your city or your village, go somewhere safe. Where are you gonna live? Where are you gonna stay? Okay. So, there are those who can just, afford a plane ticket, get on a plane and go somewhere nice, go somewhere far away. I know that there are people who took flights from Florida. I don't personally know them, but I've seen news reports. People who took flights from Florida, they came back to Wisconsin, or they went to wherever they are originally from, and just made it back to Wisconsin on time. But not everyone can afford to do that. Not everyone can afford a plane ticket on short notice to evacuate and go somewhere safe. And then again, if somebody wants to get in a car and start driving, as I discussed previously, sometime in the last few days, I said that gas is, a lot of people cannot afford a full tank of gas. A lot of people can't. Previously, when Trump was in office, you could go to the gas station and you could just buy a tank of gas. Nowadays, a lot of people cannot afford to fill up their tank. Maybe they'll go halfway, or maybe a little more than halfway. Many people cannot afford a full tank of gas. So when people say mandatory evacuation, where will people go? Those who are those who are, lower income individuals, those who are facing tremendous hardship in particular. Middle class is struggling, but those who are in the lower income category, they are struggling even more. So where will people go? Yes, the government is doing its job and saying, hey, we're giving you early warning. You need to, save your life, get out, go somewhere else, okay? Evacuate. I get it. But there are two sides. On the other side, the person who's listening to the warning, the person who's being told, hey, you need to get out. It's not easy to get out. And let's say you got a tank of gas, you leave your city, go somewhere safe. Where are you going to stay? Are you going to sleep in your car? If not, then what? You need to be able to afford a hotel or a motel or something. Not everyone can do that in this economy. And what if you don't have family or friends nearby? What if your family and friends are in the same same city that you are in, and they're all evacuating? Your friends are going back to, their hometowns. Especially, if you're like a student, you're going to college, you can get out and go to your, the state that you're from. There are lots of people from Wisconsin who attend college in Florida. They can come back here, but it's not that easy for everyone. And so I think about that, because whenever there's a crisis, it just opens up your eyes, right? You think about the different things that you previously probably didn't think about. Here in Wisconsin, thankfully, I at least never ran into a situation in which I had to evacuate. Of course, there's been incidents of fire alarm. The fire alarm in my apartment building rings, and I take my stuff and I get out and stand outside the building, and the firemen come and they check and say, oh, false alarm or something else happened, whatever. I'm not talking about that evacuation. I'm talking about mandatory evacuation when the government says you need to leave the city, you need to leave the region, the area, go somewhere far away. It's not, I've never had that situation. Okay, yes, we get the polar vortex and we get extremely cold weather and we get lots of snow, a foot of snow, 2 feet of snow. Those are bad situations, but I never ran into a situation in which I had to evacuate. The government never told me, hey, get away, go 100 miles away from here. I've never had that. And so I think about all these people, because there are those who decide, hey, I'm going to hunker down. I'm not leaving. I'm not evacuating. There's nowhere to go. Laura Floyd, great to see you, Laura. I feel like it's been a while. Laura Floyd from Texas. Laura, thank you for coming. Claudia Greenwood is here. Claudia, welcome. Thanks for being here. Who else? Garfield is here. Hello, Garfield. Garfield's name always reminds me of the cat, Garfield the cat. Amazing cat, Garfield. Love that cartoon as a kid. John Drake is here. Hello, John. And there are others who are here. Okay. So not everyone has the financial means to evacuate. And that's the challenge. Okay, where do you go? What if you don't have family nearby? If you don't have friends? And even if you have family and friends, they may have other issues going on financially, right? Not everyone can support everyone. So I mean, when you look at a state like Florida and people are being asked to evacuate, mandatory evacuate, it is tough. It is tough. And that's why, going back to the question of the economy, we need a strong economy. We need a strong economy. And I feel like these 4 years of Biden Harris basically eroded our foundation. Eroded our foundation. Okay, let's see. Biden Harris eroded our foundation. Okay. Yeah, Garfield. I don't think you have any constructive points to add, really. Garfield writes, "You're trying to blame the current administration for every problem people have. Don't lose all credibility." Garfield, I will tell you, yes, the current administration, the Biden-Harris administration, is responsible for most of the problems that we are facing right now. Okay? Because you know what, Garfield? This administration, the Biden-Harris administration, is the worst, the absolute worst administration in the history of this country. Okay? But if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz wins, that administration is going to be the absolute worst. Way worse than Biden-Harris. Way worse than Biden-Harris. And that's why, Garfield, I believe that we must reject Harris-Walz in November. We must reject them. Reject them. Okay? Absolutely reject them. Okay? And elect. Who are you going to elect? Who are you going to elect? You know the name. Garfield, you know the name of the person who we should elect, right? Who is it? Trump. I said that, Trump. Elect Trump. So, yes, the Biden-Harris administration is responsible for most of the problems we're facing, because you know what? When the government engages in reckless spending, the value of money falls. And when the value of money falls, we have numerous problems. We have all kinds of problems. And at the core of all the problems is the fact that there's inflation that has resulted in the falling value of money. Why can't people afford nutritious food anymore? Why do we have food insecurity? Because of inflation. Okay? Why can't people afford gasoline? Because of inflation. Why can't people afford a nice vacation? Because of inflation. Why can't people afford to go out and spend a Friday night with friends and family at a nice restaurant? Why? Why can't people do that anymore? Because of inflation. American families have given up a lot of things. There are things that people can no longer do. There are many people who stopped going to restaurants because they no longer have the extra money to spend in restaurants, because they don't even have enough money to put food on the table at home. They don't even have enough money for groceries. They don't even have enough money for home cooked meals. So going out and eating at a nice restaurant is completely out of question. And why is this happening? It's happening because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, together as a tag team, they have done everything possible to destroy this country, to destroy this economy. They did it on purpose. They weakened this economy. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they talk about taxing the rich. No, taxing the rich is not the solution. They try to create divisions in society. They try to create divisions by putting, average income Americans against those who are wealthy. Okay? They try to create divisions. But the real issue here is that we need an economy in which everyone has an opportunity to succeed. Okay? But creating an idea that, hey, the wealthy people are eating up your lunch and that's why you're hungry, that is just wrong. That's like divide and conquer policy. The more money you make, the more taxes you're paying. Okay? So people are paying taxes. But the Biden-Harris administration, they created an environment in which the middle class is shrinking. Poverty is increasing. The Biden-Harris administration created an environment in which small businesses are struggling to stay afloat. Small businesses are having to, lay people off. Even big businesses are laying people off. Lots of layoffs. The Biden-Harris team has created an economy in which small businesses don't have the confidence to expand and create more jobs. So the Biden-Harris administration, their plan, it didn't happen by accident. The Biden-Harris administration planned this whole thing. They want to create more poverty in this country, which is why they brought in all those illegal immigrants. The Biden-Harris administration imported those illegal immigrants by opening up the border, allowing people to come in. And so, yes, many issues that we now see in society are tied to the actions of the Biden-Harris administration. Do you agree with me, my friends? Here's the thing. Whenever I speak the truth, which is always, when I'm doing my live streams, I always share facts. I always tell the truth. And you know what the liberals do? Here you can see they say, propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. It's not propaganda. What I'm telling you is the truth. It's not propaganda. Okay? It's the truth. Freshly wrote, I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, see, Turbo writes, yes, facts. I am sharing the facts. Claudia is saying, you speak the truth. Thank you, Claudia. I'm sharing the truth. And listen, this is not pre-recorded. Whatever I'm saying, this is not pre-recorded. Let's say I sit at home and I record a video and then I review it and I see, oh, you know what? I need to edit this part. I need to add something here. I need to, get this sentence out, maybe add another sentence in. This is not that. Whatever I'm saying is live. It's live. You can hear it. You can record it. It's available on my channel afterwards. So whatever I'm telling you, it's the truth. You can fact check me. Yeah, when I tell you that you can fact check me, I mean go and fact check me. If I'm wrong, you can tell me that, toss if you're wrong. But don't just say propaganda. Propaganda. This is not propaganda, okay? This is the reality. This is the truth that I'm presenting. Whenever the liberals have nothing to say, they just say, oh, there is propaganda, there's propaganda. It's not propaganda. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, Ruby is here. Thank you. Sal writes, I do fact check you and you're lying. No, Sal, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Okay? I think most people here understand that I'm telling the truth. Okay? When you say, You're lying. Doesn't make me a liar. I'm telling the truth. Okay, so you're just accusing me of something that I haven't done. All right. Uh, so C.S. Davis, what did I not address? There's nothing called alternative facts. It's either fact or it's not a fact. Let's see. Yeah, Papa wrote, they can't stand the truth. That's true. Remember that movie, the famous movie, where they said, uh, uh, you can't handle the truth. Oh, what a great movie that was. Really, I mean, that line applies because I'm telling the truth. Okay? And a lot of people, they cannot handle the truth. That's why I need to say, you can't handle the truth. By the way, it's like, what can I say? I mean, when the doctor asks me, let's say I'm seeing a new doctor, or I'm going for a yearly physical or whatever, and the doctor says, okay, we're gonna update your allergies. What are your allergies? Are you allergic to any food? Are you allergic to any medication? So you have to give your history, right? You have to give your history. So let's say if you're allergic to like seafood, a lot of people have seafood allergy. If you're allergic to seafood, you're gonna say, oh, I'm allergic to seafood, and then they enter the information in your medical file. If you're allergic to, like, let's say like peanuts or something, a lot of people have nut allergy. So if you're allergic to peanuts, you'll say, hey doc, I'm allergic to peanuts, and then the doctor will include that in your medical file, right? So you need to tell your doctor what you're allergic to. I think we all need to do that. It's part of our medical treatment, just maintaining your file, keeping everything up to date. Your doctor, your medical team needs to know what your allergies are. And when it comes to allergies, it's mostly like either food or some medication. Some people have medication allergy. Like some people cannot take this medication or that medication because it causes reaction or whatever. But then there's another kind of allergy, which is usually not entered in a person's medical file. But this allergy does exist, and it's a serious problem in society. Some people are allergic to the truth. Some people are allergic to facts. Okay, so if you tell the truth or if you share facts, some people can't handle it. Okay, it causes some kind of reaction. All right, so there's that kind of allergy, allergic to truth. Okay, and it's sad, but I see that among a lot of Biden supporters and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz supporters. If you share the facts, then they don't want to hear it. They run away from it. It's like an allergy. Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you guys agree that there are people out there who are allergic to facts? Laura, what do you think? Laura, do you agree with me? Laura is here after a while, so it's good to see Laura. Laura from Texas. Claudia, what do you think? Do you agree with me that some people are allergic to the truth? They're allergic to facts. I mean, it's true. Yeah, John Drake writes, yeah, it's very true. That's correct. Papa wrote, Democrats get allergic reaction to truth. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the solution is. Claudia writes, yes, I agree with you. Thank you, Claudia. Um, William writes, ignorance is bliss. Yeah. Correct. The more you know, uh, sometimes the more painful it is, because the more you learn, the more you know, um, the more you're finding out everything that's wrong around us. But you know what? Part of solving a problem is admitting that there's a problem. And so I know ignorance is bliss, but we still have to learn. We have to continue to learn, because if we don't, then how are we going to solve the problems? Uh, Laura writes, I agree with you, Tassif. I still try to teach the truth to my 25-year-old Gen Z. Oh, okay. Well, Laura, you're talking about your child, right? Um, you know what? Sometimes it takes some real life experience to realize the truth. So um, it's like some kids, when they go to school, and we know that some schools are, they have a very far left environment. Now, I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying all schools, but I know some schools. I mean, I live in Dane County, Wisconsin. Here in Wisconsin, there are some schools that basically turn kids into, left-leaning, Democrat-leaning individuals. So because some schools have very, very left-leaning environment, the teachers are Democrats, and they're trying to indoctrinate, which is wrong, which is just wrong. It shouldn't be happening. Okay, I don't think a teacher should force one's views on the students. Okay, that's not what schools are for. Teachers can have their own views, but they should not try to indoctrinate children. But we see that happening. It does happen, especially here in Wisconsin. You see in Dane County, in the city of Madison, it's pretty common. So, what was I saying? So schools, kids coming out of schools often have this left-leaning mindset. But, I think like teenagers or young professionals, Gen Z, people in their early 20s, they may be, because they came out of school or they came out of a college environment that was very left-leaning, they may have those views. But I think over time, when they start earning money, when they start paying taxes, when they run into all the problems that the Democrats created, then people start realizing that, hey, you know what? Everything that I learned about politics, actually, that's not correct. And I'll tell you one thing. We saw that here in Wisconsin. We saw that during COVID. There were many people who previously leaned to the left. They previously, supported Democrats. But during COVID, when they saw what the Democrats were doing to the economy by forcing businesses to close their doors, by implementing capacity limits, and especially the vaccine mandate, okay? The vaccine mandate that the Democrats pushed for, that really made a lot of people switch. A lot of people, even young professionals, young parents, people in their 20s, 30s, they realized, hey, this is destructive. This is wrong. This is an attack on our freedom. And so a lot of people who previously supported Democrats, they switched. They switched because they didn't like the fact that the Democrats were forcing businesses to close their doors, forcing people to stay at home, forcing people to wear masks. Okay, um, I mean, people have lots of issues. There are individuals who get very claustrophobic if they have to put a mask on. So different people have different physical and mental health conditions and issues. Um, some people are scared of heights. Some people are scared to get into the elevator. Some, people have different things, right? Okay. Some people are afraid of things that crawl, like insects and bugs. Some people are afraid of spiders. I mean, the list goes on. So there are individuals who cannot wear a mask because they get claustrophobic. If they have a mask like that, it makes it difficult to breathe. It just makes them feel suffocated. But you know what, the Democrats don't care about all of this. They just want their one size fits all tyrannical policies to be imposed on people. Okay? And during the COVID, we saw the what kind of monstrous policies that the Democrats can come up with. Okay, the vaccine mandate. I mean, can you think about it? Like, you either get a vaccine or you lose your job. I mean, this is unacceptable. This is horrible. But that's what the Democrats wanted. So during COVID, a lot of Democrat voters actually switched. They decided they don't like the vaccine mandate. They don't like the stay-at-home order. They don't like these capacity limits and social distancing and mask mandates and all that stuff. Okay, so Laura, I think I just uh, went into a long speech about you mentioned about your Gen Z. I think there is a bright side. I think a lot of young people, Gen Zs, over time, they'll realize, when they start becoming responsible individuals, when they have a family, when they're trying to buy a house, when they are trying to save money and invest, when they are trying to, when they are paying taxes, they see, when the Gen Zs, they realize, oh, by the way, I'm supposed to be making X dollars per hour or X dollars a month. This is how much my check is supposed to be. But when they get their pay stub, they see how much, like, what a big bite the government took out of the paycheck in the form of taxes. I mean, that's when reality strikes and people start understanding, hey, you know what? I actually support candidates who will cut taxes. I support candidates who will actually, prioritize fiscal responsibility. I support candidates who will actually try to reduce the national debt. I support candidates who will make sure that there's no reckless spending. So I think over time, more and more Gen Zs will realize that voting for Trump, voting for the Republicans, that's the right path. That is really the right path. So, Laura, I hope you agree with me. I don't know. I'm sharing a lot. Yeah, Laura is saying the mask didn't even protect from the tiny droplets. Yeah, these masks. I mean, I understand if, let's say, if I have a cold, if I'm sneezing frequently or whatever, I should wear a mask. Maybe stay home. Maybe don't go out. I mean, this is common sense. This is common sense. This is nothing new. Okay, we didn't learn this during COVID. We've always known this. If you've got a cold, if you're always sneezing or you're coughing, and you want to go see the doctor, you're waiting in the waiting room, you're waiting to be seen. Of course, you want to have a mask on, right? That's common sense. But to say that everyone's gonna have to wear masks, even kids, like, do you remember how ridiculous it was when kids actually played sports wearing masks? Did you see that happening? It was just so absurd. Kids wearing masks and playing sports. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, my friends, we are an hour into the live stream. If you have not subscribed yet, my question is, why have you not subscribed yet? Why have you not? Please like this video. 53 likes already. 53 likes. Can I get 47 more? 47 more likes. I already have 53 likes. Can I get 47 more? Think about our 47th president, soon to be 47th president, Donald Trump. Think about our soon to be 47th president and give me 47 more likes. That'd be awesome. So far tonight, more than 7,000 viewers have tuned in. So I really appreciate the support that I'm getting. Thank you so very much. The more you like this video, the more you subscribe, the more people subscribe, the more I can reach a bigger audience. So I appreciate that. Okay. So I think what I was saying is, going back to the original discussion, it was during Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton that it suddenly struck me. I realized that, you know what, it's not cheap to evacuate. Evacuating is actually pretty expensive. You have to find a place to go. You have to be able to afford a hotel or a motel. You have to be able to afford to travel, to get out of the danger zone and to go somewhere safe. You have to be able to, if you're evacuating, if you're going out of state or 200 miles away, you have to be able to afford, food. I mean, if you have evacuated for as long as you're away, whether it's 5 days, 10 days, whatever, you have to be able to survive. You need shelter, you need food, and it's not easy. It's not easy. The Biden-Harris administration has made people's lives so difficult. People can't afford the basic necessities. A lot of people can't. A lot of people run out of money even before the month ends. And that is the truth. That is the truth. I personally, somebody has told me, okay, this was a few months ago, somebody told me about her family and how her small family runs out of money in the last few days of the month. Okay, so the money that they have every month, it doesn't last them the whole month. So they struggle with food. It is heartbreaking, but this is what a lot of families face. It's the truth. A viewer writes, "You're lying. I'm living very comfortable." Well, if you're living very comfortable, then I'm very happy for you. I'm not saying that 100% of the people are struggling. No, there are people who make six-figure salaries. There are people who make millions of dollars a year. Of course, there are people who are living very comfortable lives, right? So if you are one of them, a viewer named Baim, I can't pronounce it, wrote, "You're lying, I'm living very comfortable." If you're living very comfortable, wonderful. I'm very happy for you. Okay, may God bless you. May you continue to live very comfortably, okay? Because I want people to be happy. If somebody says, "Hey, I'm living very comfortably," then I'm happy for you. In fact, I want everyone to live comfortable lives, okay? And since you're saying that you're living comfortably, I'm hoping that you'll also take the time to maybe help out other people, okay, in your community. I don't know where you live, what state, what city you are in, but since you're saying that you're living very comfortably, then I hope that you'll take some time to engage in some charitable activities. Maybe help out a local nonprofit organization with some money, or maybe volunteer your time at some organization, help the needy. Okay, maybe volunteer at a place of worship. Okay, maybe feed those who are struggling. Help people out with food. Help the individuals in your community maybe who are suffering from various disabilities, or senior citizens. I mean, if you want to help others out, there are many opportunities. You can contribute financially. If you don't want to contribute financially, you can volunteer your time and try to help others out. So I hope you will do that, okay? But the person who said I'm living very comfortable also accused me of lying. No, I'm not lying. Once again, I'm not lying, but I'm glad you're living a comfortable life. That is wonderful. I hope everyone tells me, hey, Tassif, we're actually living very comfortable lives. That's what I would love to hear from each and every person. Okay? That's like, okay, the world is now a perfect place, or close to perfect. Everyone's living comfortably. Okay? But you know what? Many people were doing great when Trump was in office. And now more and more people are worse off. More and more people are struggling because of Biden-Harris administration. Let's see. Martin writes, I'm worse off now than 4 years ago, for sure. Yeah. We always hope that with time things are going to get better. But when you get stuck with the Biden-Harris administration, things just keep getting worse every day. Things just keep getting worse. A viewer here keeps writing, get a jab, get a jab, get a jab. I don't know, who are you referring to? Who are you referring to? A viewer named JB keeps saying, get a jab. Who are you referring to? I don't know. William writes, we have jobs. JB writes, MAGA. You mean you support MAGA? Is that what you're saying? Because I love to hear MAGA. Turbo writes, usually the ones screaming, get a job, are the ones who don't work. Oh. Claudia writes, Claudia, I see your comment. You know what? I know there are people here who don't like me. And the only reason they don't like me is because I tell the truth. Like I said, some people are allergic to the truth. Some people are allergic to facts. So every time I say something that's truth, I share facts, they're like, oh, no, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We're going to close our ears. We're going to run away. Because, they're allergic to the truth. What can I say? Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, my friends, we have to continue to pray for those who are suffering as a result of Hurricane Helene and then Hurricane Milton. Widespread devastation in Florida, lives lost. Let's pray for the departed souls. Let's pray for those families who lost their loved ones. And let's hope and pray that things will be back to normal. I know, given the level of devastation, the road to recovery is going to be long. It's going to be a long road to recovery. So I know that people from different parts of the country are trying to send help. People are, there are many people who are ready to volunteer. There are many people who are ready to contribute and help in any way they can. I think we should be able to help in any way we can. Okay, so let's pray for those who have been affected by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Let's keep them in our prayers, and I will try to share with you any updates that I get. I'm trying to keep up with the news. There are updates coming all the time, so I'll be sharing with you more information. But let me move on to the other topic that I briefly mentioned. Tim Walz. Tim Walz wants the Electoral College to be eliminated. That's what he wants. And who's Tim Walz? Tim Walz is Kamala's running mate. Kamala chose Tim Walz as the running mate. Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota. Anyone here from Minnesota? Anyone from Minnesota here? Let me ask you that question. Are you from Minnesota? If you are from Minnesota, let me know. Let me know if you're from Minnesota. I don't see anyone from Minnesota here. Oh, a viewer says I'm from Minnesota. Okay. A viewer named Rebecca is writing about terminal illness. Rebecca, I'm so sorry to hear that, Rebecca. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know, Rebecca. Many people are struggling so much, and I've talked about it. That's our hope, really, for our economy, for our future. Trump is the hope. If we want to turn things around, if we want peace, prosperity, Trump is the person that we have to elect. Rebecca writes Trump 24. I'm from Illinois. Okay, you're from Illinois. Well, Rebecca, then you are in the neighboring state, because I am in Wisconsin. Okay, I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. Illinois is not that far. I don't know where in Illinois you're from. Are you northern Illinois, central Illinois, southern Illinois? Are you from Chicago? Southern Illinois. Okay, Rebecca. Thanks for sharing that. Rebecca, extremely sad and sorry to hear about your illness, and we all will keep you in our prayers, Rebecca, okay? Let's keep Rebecca in our prayers. Rebecca just wrote about her challenges, health challenges and struggles. So we'll keep you in our prayers, Rebecca. We'll pray for you and your family, Rebecca. Okay? Chris Hicks is here. Hello, Chris. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Tim Walz wants the Electoral College to be eliminated. Reportedly, Tim Walz has called for the elimination of the Electoral College. This guy, Tim Walz, he's extreme. He's a far left politician That's what he is. He's far left, he's extreme, which is why he wants Electoral College to be eliminated. Tim Walz doesn't care about the Constitution. Tim Walz has zero respect for the rule of law in this country. He doesn't care about law and order. He has zero respect for our Constitution, zero respect for the founding fathers, zero respect for the constitutional framework that we have. Tim Walz has zero respect for the US Constitution. Okay? Tim Walz, how did he become the governor? I mean, who elected this guy as the governor? I mean, who elected Tim Walz as the governor? I just can't believe it. I mean, really, I talk about Kathy Hochul and Jared Polis as two of the worst governors. I talk about Pritzker. I talk about Newsom, but I'm just having a feeling that Tim Walz is probably the worst. I mean, he's a governor. He's an elected official. He's a statewide elected official. How he got elected, I have no idea. I have no idea. But Tim Walz is elected, and being an elected official, being a statewide elected official, he's saying that he wants the Electoral College to be eliminated. Can you believe that? Can you believe that a statewide elected official in the United States is saying that he wants the Electoral College to be eliminated? This guy does not believe in law and order. This guy doesn't believe in the Constitution. There's no way that he can be, people should not vote for him. People should not vote for him. I mean, do you want to vote for a presidential ticket where the running mate wants to eliminate the Electoral College? This is unbelievable. What an insult. What an insult. I mean, this statement, the statement that he made, okay, he said that the Electoral College needs to go. He said that. Tim Walz said that the Electoral College needs to go. This statement should disqualify him in the eyes of the voters. This statement should disqualify him in the eyes of the voters. The voters must reject Tim Walz. The voters must reject Kamala Harris. How in the world did Kamala Harris choose Tim Walz? Well, I know how, because Kamala Harris, as of now, she's the worst vice president, and she wants to find someone who's worse than her. And that's why she picked Tim Walz. Okay? I cannot believe that Tim Walz said this, being the governor of an American state. This guy really has no respect for the Constitution and for the rule of law. But he's not the only one. I'm gonna tell you more. Kamala Harris, when she was running for president back in 2019, Kamala Harris said that she was open to the idea of abolishing Electoral College. Yeah, that's true. Kamala Harris, in 2019, when she was running for president, she said she was open to the idea of abolishing the Electoral College. And obviously now she's trying to walk away from that position. I mean, Kamala Harris is trying to walk away from a lot of things. Previously, she said that she was open to the idea of abolishing Electoral College. She's trying to walk away from that position just to get votes. And Kamala Harris previously said that she supports banning fracking. Now she's trying to walk away from that too because she wants to get the votes from Pennsylvania. She wants to win Pennsylvania. The people of Pennsylvania, if you are listening to me, if you are a voter in Pennsylvania, if you're listening to me, vote for Donald J. Trump. Because if Kamala Harris wins, Pennsylvania is going to be in big trouble. Because Kamala Harris is going to ban fracking. Pennsylvania needs fracking. As Donald Trump said, frack, frack, frack. You gotta frack. Drill, baby, drill. And frack, frack, frack. Okay, I'm gonna write this. I love it. Drill, baby, drill. Frack, frack, frack. Write it. All she wants are the votes. I'm reading some comments here. So Garfield is writing about Trump being convicted. Garfield, I gotta tell you this, Garfield. Everyone, listen to me. Let's pause for a little bit. Listen to me. Garfield says that Trump is convicted. Okay, are you listening before I say what I'm about to tell you? Are you listening? Tell me if you're listening to me. Just write listening so I can continue. Yeah. Okay, Shailene writes yes. Okay. That trial in New York was a sham trial. It was a sham trial. Okay, I'm going to write it. Sham trial. It was a sham trial. The American people, they don't care about that trial because the American people know that Trump is innocent. I wrote that. Trump is innocent. Can you read it? Garfield. Garfield, open your eyes and see the truth. Okay? Trump is innocent. That trial was a sham. Okay? Trump has faced a lot of witch hunt. That's what it was. Witch hunt. Sham trial. Sham trial. See, other people are saying that too. Sham trial. Claudia wrote innocent, meaning Trump is innocent. You don't have to listen to me, Garfield. Listen to Claudia. Trump is innocent. Garfield, I answered your question. Angie Mitchell writes, innocent, 100. Yeah. Paul writes, Trump is innocent. Absolutely. You know, the only reason those activists, those left-wing activists, they staged that trial in New York. Well, everyone knows that in New York, Trump's not going to get a fair trial. Do you think that jury is fair? It's not. And that whole exercise, I don't even call it a trial. It was just an exercise. It was a show. It was a drama that the Democrats staged in New York. Okay? I know New York is famous for theater. right? A lot of people go to New York because they want to pursue an acting career. They want to be famous. They want to perform on stage. Yeah, I get that. And that's the good stuff. But this trial, which took place in a courthouse, this trial was also a drama. That's what it was. It was a drama. It was a complete sham trial. And the reason the Democrats staged it is because they wanted to come up with that label of felon. That's all that they wanted. They wanted to be able to call Trump a felon. Okay, they thought, oh, we're gonna get a conviction and we're gonna attach that label of felon. It's gonna adversely affect Trump's chances of winning in 2024. You know what? If you call Trump a felon, listen to this. A lot of people who's watching this live stream, they are going to vote for that person who you call felon. He's not a felon, but if that's what you want to call Trump, a lot of people who are watching here right now, they're going to vote for the felon. Jim is here. Jim writes, go Trump. Go Trump. Claudia writes, fight, fight, fight. Absolutely. 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 Deck writes, Trump is definitely innocent. Absolutely. Owen writes, I voted for Trump. Owen has already done it. Early voting, my friends. David writes, Trump. Shaylin writes, Trump is brutally honest and they hate it. Yeah. As I said, some people don't like the truth. They don't like honesty. Vote for Trump. That's all that the Democrats wanted. The Democrats wanted to come up with that term, felon, that they can attach to Trump. But that hasn't changed anything. In fact, that trial has increased support for Donald Trump. The momentum is stronger than ever before. Support for Trump is increasing each and every single day. My friends, 1 hour, 32 minutes into this live stream. 71 likes so far. Can I get 29 more likes? Can I get to 100? Is that possible? Let's see who's here for the first time. I see a lot of new names. Anyone here for the first time? And anyone here who's here for the first time? If you are here for the first time, write first time. Shaylin writes me. Rebecca writes me. Awesome. I hope you'll all subscribe. It's so important. Please subscribe and stay connected, okay? Primetime writes me. Okay, wonderful. Great to see new viewers here. Tangerine is here. Hello, Tangerine. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Who else is here? A viewer named I'm voting Trump. Oh, awesome. More than 10,000 people have tuned in so far tonight, my friends, for this live stream. It's all possible because of your support. Because of your support. Tangerine writes, I'm one of your avid supporters. Thank you, Tangerine. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the good wishes. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you so very much. Overwhelming support here. Overwhelming support because you know what? People love freedom of speech. That's why we're all here. And people are looking forward to seeing Donald Trump victorious on election night. A viewer named H writes, "You're just another Indian to them." By the way, I'm not from India. Okay? All those people who assume where I'm from, I'm not from India. I'm not from India. So, yeah. Turbo is here. Hello, Turbo. Robert Graham is here. Robert Graham, good to see that you're back. Every time I see Robert Graham, I think about that amazing clothing brand, which I think I've mentioned before. Robert Graham, amazing clothing brand. I love Robert Graham shirts. Okay, they're really good. Claudia, thank you for your support. Thank you, Claudia. So a viewer named Bubblicious writes, "You're an immigrant to them." Yeah, I am an immigrant. So what's wrong with that? I mean, you're saying you're an immigrant to them. I am an immigrant. I'm a legal immigrant. Legal immigrant. Came here legally with all my paperwork on a plane. Landed with full respect and honor. Worked hard, paid taxes, still do. So, yeah, and I'm a naturalized US citizen. So I'm an American. I am an American. I love America. I'm a proud American, the United States of America. Andrea is giving me thumbs up. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Tangerine writes, "I salute you." Thank you so much. A viewer named Dev Guharoy. Dev Guharoy. What are you writing, Dev? I think I know what you're writing, Dev Guharoy. But if you would just explain it a little bit more. I think what you're doing is writing Bengali words using English letters, right? Dev Guharoy? Dev, go ahead and explain in complete sentences what you're trying to say. Okay? So you're Dev Guharoy. Okay. Dev Guharoy, where you from? Okay. Okay, let me do a poll. A viewer named Dig, D-I-G-G, right? Shall that viewer be blocked? Do you think I should block Dig? Should I just put Dig in timeout? Should I do that? Robert Graham writes yes. Robert Graham writes yes. Native writes yes. Charlie writes yes. William writes yes. I mean, how can I not do it now? How can I not? Okay, Dig, bye-bye. 24 hours, just doing timeout. All right. You guys like it? Dig is now in timeout, 24 hours. If you like it, applause. All right. I mean, really, Dig was writing the same thing over and over again and calling me things that I'm not, because I am a legal immigrant. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. Artemis is here. Artemis, welcome back. I know Artemis doesn't agree with me a whole lot on policy stuff, but it's still good to see that you're here. Let's see. All right. Garfield is writing, stick with politics and stop the personal nonsense, please. I'm not doing personal nonsense. I'm here having a conversation, and the personal attacks came at me, okay? If somebody calls me illegal immigrant, that's a personal attack because I'm a legal immigrant. So, yeah, that person, I know people say harsh things, but if people continue writing that stuff, I can't let that happen. So going back to Tim Walz, Tim Walz supports eliminating the Electoral College. You know why? Because Tim Walz understands that the Democrats cannot win on policy. The Democrats don't have policy. The Democrat actions in the last 4 years have been disaster. The economy, the border, the crime situation. Since Biden-Harris came to power, crime has gone up. The public safety situation is really bad. People cannot afford groceries. People cannot afford food. Restaurants are shutting down. Businesses are having to lay people off. Businesses don't have the funds to expand. There's no consumer confidence. People are struggling. People's savings accounts are being dried up because of the Biden-Harris administration and their reckless policies in partnership with the Washington, D.C. Democrats. So Tim Walz understands that the Democrats cannot win. And so they're trying to change what America is all about by trying to get rid of the Electoral College. You know why? Because all that Tim Walz wants to do is to campaign in California. California is the state with the highest number of Electoral College votes. And that's why the Democrats want the popular vote to determine the presidency. And let's not forget, the Democrats are importing voters. They're bringing in illegal immigrants. They've opened up the border. Illegal immigrants are coming in, and the Democrats, they hate voter ID, and the Democrats they propose a pathway to citizenship for the illegal immigrants. We cannot let that happen. See what the Democrats want to do. They are bringing in illegal immigrants. They are giving the illegals free food and free shelter and so much. And the Democrats want to give the illegals pathway to citizenship. And the Democrats, they hate voter ID. They hate voter ID. So when you add all of that up, illegal immigration, the illegal immigrants getting taxpayer-funded services, the illegals, the Democrats trying to get the illegals a pathway to citizenship, and the Democrats fighting voter IDs, fighting against voter IDs. They don't want voter IDs. So when you add all of that up, what is the conclusion that you can draw? That the Democrats are trying to create new voters. They're trying to create new voters. And then Tim Walz, he wants to get rid of the Electoral College so that only California decides who the president is going to be. The Democrats want to take away voting power from the smaller states. If the Democrats succeed in their plans, if Tim Walz succeeds in his plan, then what's going to happen? You know what? Montana, the people of Montana will have no voting power. The people of Wyoming will have no voting power. The people of South Dakota will have no voting power. All the power will be concentrated in the big populated states like California, like New York. We must not let the Democrats do what they want to do. The Democrats want to eliminate Electoral College. We cannot let that happen. My friends, this is the most important election of our lifetime. Somebody like Tim Walz should not be the VP. And that's why people will have to vote for Donald J. Trump at the ballot box, defeat Harris-Walz ticket. Vote for Trump 2024. Dev Guharoy writes, vote blue. Dev Guharoy, what state you are in, Guharoy? Dev Guharoy writes, vote blue. What are you talking about, vote blue? I have no idea. Dev Guharoy is writing vote blue. Why vote blue? Dev Guharoy, do you love inflation? Do you love... Oh, Dev Guharoy is from Western Australia. Oh. What's going on in Australia, Dev Guharoy? Dev Guharoy, I'm happy you're here and watching my video, but why are you saying vote blue? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Okay. We'll let Dev Guharoy write what Dev Guharoy wants to write. Okay. But you know what? You have to listen to. Who do you have to listen to? Listen to Laura Floyd. Laura Floyd is from Texas, and what does Laura write? Laura writes, "I'm voting straight Republican." Exactly. Exactly. Vote straight Republican. Laura wrote about Ted Cruz. Yes, so important. We need to keep Ted Cruz in the Senate. Ted Cruz is one of the most prominent voices in the Republican Party. You need to keep Ted Cruz in the Senate. Vote for Cruz. Vote for Ted Cruz. Vote for Republicans up and down the ballot. Dev Guharoy writes, vote blue. Dev Guharoy, you have no idea what you're talking about, Dev Guharoy. Let's see. KK writes, I saw Trump in WWE. I saw Trump in WWE also, and I loved it. Okay? Trump's a great leader, but he's also a great entertainer. He's got a lot of humor, right? So it's not just Tim Walz who wants the Electoral College to be eliminated. It's also Kamala Harris. Although she's not going to admit it now. She's not. But back in 2019, Kamala Harris said that she was open to the idea of abolishing the Electoral College. So my friends, if you want to protect the right to vote, if you want to protect our Constitution, if you want to protect freedom in our country, vote for Trump 2024 and reject the Harris-Walz ticket. More than 11,500 people have watched my videos tonight. That is so awesome, my friends. Thank you for all your support. By the way, I've crossed the 4,700 subscriber milestone, so I appreciate that. I know a lot of people are watching this. If you have not subscribed yet, why have you not? Let's see how fast you can help me get to 4,800. If everyone who's watching would just hit the subscribe button, I could easily get to 4,800. Okay? I need 84 more subscribers. Can I get 84 more tonight? I don't know. But maybe I can. Maybe. All right, my friends, I have some important data to share with you, okay? So, hold on. Wisconsin is a battleground state, you know that. Wisconsin is a battleground state. A viewer named Crazy, Crazy, don't write the same thing. I don't know. A viewer named Crazy, I don't know what to say. All right. So, my friends, Wisconsin is a battleground state. You already know that. I live in Wisconsin, so I'm paying close attention to what's going on here. There's a new poll that provides some very interesting results pertaining to the race for the White House in battleground Wisconsin. So this is Wisconsin-specific data. According to the new Quinnipiac University poll, 48% of Wisconsin's likely voters support Donald Trump. 48%. This is according to Quinnipiac University poll. 48% of Wisconsin's likely voters support Donald J. Trump, and only 46% support Kamala Harris. Isn't that awesome? I mean, don't you just love those results? I know that, when it comes to different polls, you're gonna have to decide which one you're gonna trust, right? Because polls have been wrong, can be wrong. Different polls show different results, so you're gonna have to decide which one you support. But this is the Quinnipiac University poll. 48% of Wisconsin's likely voters support Trump. 46% support Harris. By the way, Jill Stein of Green Party is running. So Jill Stein of Green Party got 1%. Michael Brown is here. Hello, Michael Brown. Michael Brown, always good to see you. Jill Stein of Green Party got 1%. And Libertarian Party's candidate Chase Oliver received 1%. So you don't have to be a statistician, you don't have to be a mathematician, you don't have to be an expert, a political scientist to know that Jill Stein and Chase Oliver, they're probably not going to win the presidential election, okay? So Jill Stein, if you ask me, is probably not going to be the 47th president because they're so far behind. I mean, if anyone thinks that Jill Stein of Green Party can win, you can let me know. Listen, I'm open to your thoughts. If somebody out there thinks, hey, you know what? Jill Stein might actually win this. Let me know, okay? All right. So it's really going to be between Angie writes, who is Jill Stein? Great question, Angie. Great question. Who's Jill? Jill Stein is a Green Party candidate, okay? Green Party. Green Party. Dave Guharoy is writing the same thing. Vote blue, vote blue. Dave Guharoy, what are you talking about? Okay, it's Dave Guharoy. All right. Not very promising for Green Party and the Libertarian Party. Let's go back in time. In September, the same poll found that Harris was at 48% and Trump was at 47%. So back in September, the same poll found that Harris was ahead by 1 point, being at 48, Trump being at 47. But that has changed because, as I said before, I know people say, Toss, if you're lying. But I said this before, that each and every day, support for Trump is increasing. The momentum is getting stronger. More and more people are supporting Trump each and every day. And what I said is what is represented if here in the results of the poll, the Quinnipiac University poll, showing among likely Wisconsin voters, 48% supporting Donald J. Trump, 46% supporting Kamala. Okay? My friends, in Michigan, let's talk about Michigan. Anyone from Michigan here? Anyone here who's from Michigan? Are you from Michigan? If you are from Michigan, let me know. If you are from Michigan, just write Michigan. Or you can also write MI in short. Because I know it's late at night and you may not want to type up the whole word Michigan. You can write MI. We'll understand. Artemis writes, I used to live in Michigan. Artemis, where do you live now? If I remember correctly, you are in Ohio or Pennsylvania? I could be wrong. Artemis is talking about Culver's. Yes, I remember, Artemis. We talked about... Artemis is from Pennsylvania. See, Artemis, I know you disagree with me on so many things, but I remember where you're from, Pennsylvania. I think you said that, which is why I remember. So, thank you for coming back, Artemis. Feel free to disagree with me, but stay here. Okay? All right. So, Michigan... In Michigan, Trump is at 50% and Harris is at 47%. So awesome. So awesome. Artemis writes, yeah, man, I do disagree, but you're cool and I appreciate you. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Artemis disagrees with me, but Artemis still participates in the conversation. You know, that's what this country is about. We have to be able to have dialogue. We can disagree, but we can still have a conversation. Okay, so in Michigan, according to the Quinnipiac University poll, Trump is at 50%, Harris is at 47. So the Harris campaign, they are sweating. They are worried. They have like sleepless nights. They are tense. They're stressed. The Harris camp, they are having a bad time. When they see the Quinnipiac University poll, they see Trump at 50%, Harris at 47. And Harris is probably asking her campaign people, hey guys, what are you doing? This is what I think is going on behind the scenes. Harris is telling her campaign people, hey, what are you guys doing? Why am I behind in Michigan? And probably somebody from Harris's campaign might be saying, Madam Vice President, you're not talking to the press. You're not doing a press conference. And that's why people are not supporting you, because you're so insulated from the media. You need to do a press conference because Trump and Vance, they're out there talking to the media. Madam VP, you're not doing any press conference. And then probably Harris is saying, no. That's out of question. I'm not going to do a press conference because they are going to ask me what I accomplished as the border czar. And I did nothing. I did nothing. These are the conversations, I think, that are going on behind the scene. Maybe somebody from the Harris campaign is saying, Madam VP, you're going to have to do at least one press conference, answer questions. And then maybe Harris is saying, no, I cannot, because they're going to ask me about my record of failures. They're going to ask me what I did as the border czar. They're going to ask me about my support for banning fracking and so on and so forth. I can't answer that. That's why Harris is behind. Harris is behind. Okay? So, really, I don't know what to say. those Harris campaign people, it's a sinking ship. It's a sinking ship. Okay, the Harris Walz presidential ship. I mean, it's sinking in the polls. Okay, all right. Uh, let me talk about uh, the likely voters, and this is also according to the Quinnipiac University poll. The likely voters who were asked who they think would do a better job handling a list of 7 issues, but I'm not going to be able to discuss all 7. I'll discuss 3: the economy, immigration, and just as a commander-in-chief of the U.S. military. So likely voters were asked in different states, in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. The likely voters were asked who they think would do a better job handling these issues. So issue number 1, the economy. In Pennsylvania, 49% said Trump. The question was to likely voters. They were asked who they think would do a better job of handling these issues. First issue, the economy. In Pennsylvania, people thought, 49% of the likely voters thought that Trump would do a better job handling the economy. Only 47 said Harris. So Trump is leading. In Michigan, same question. Who's going to do a better job at handling the economy? 53% of the likely voters in Michigan said Trump. Only 45% said Harris. In Wisconsin, 53% said Trump. 44% said Harris. So in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, when the Quinnipiac University poll, they asked the likely voters who they think would do a better job at handling the economy. Trump is the winner in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. 49 said Trump. In Pennsylvania, 47 said Harris. In Michigan, 53 said Trump. 45 said Harris. In Wisconsin, 53 said Trump. 44 said Harris. Immigration, second issue. Who's better at handling immigration? In Pennsylvania, 50% said Trump, only 46% said Harris. In Michigan, 53% said Trump, only 44% said Harris. In Wisconsin, 52% said Trump, 44% said Harris. Third issue, who's going to do a better job as the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military? Okay? In Pennsylvania, 48% said Trump, 48% said Harris. So this was a split, it was a tie. But look at Michigan, 52% said Trump, 46% said Harris. So Trump is leading by a significant margin. In Wisconsin, 51% said Trump, 45% said Harris. So Trump is really doing well in the battleground states. In the battleground states. And the results that I shared are from the Quinnipiac University poll. So if you don't trust me, go look at the polls. Look at the information yourself. Okay? Go look up the data. Go look up the poll results. Then you'll know. So my friends, that's pretty much all I have for this evening. Well, it's no longer evening. It's early morning Friday now. It's already October 11th here. There is a poll that I am running here. The question is, Democrat Tim Walz wants to abolish the Electoral College. Do you support or oppose Walz's idea? 70% opposes Walz's idea. 70% opposing Walz. I also agree that we must oppose Walz's idea. We must never abolish the Electoral College. Never. The Electoral College. We need the Electoral College. The Electoral College is what we have. This is a constitutional republic, my friends. The winner of the Electoral College wins the presidency. A viewer writes, are you a lawyer? I'm not a lawyer, but I've worked very closely with lawyers. Okay, let's see. Okay. So please vote. 394 votes in already. Please vote if you have not done so. I'm going to end the poll in just a little bit, so please vote. Okay. And those who have not subscribed yet, would you please subscribe? Would you please subscribe and support this channel? I would very much appreciate that. More than 12,800 people have tuned in tonight so far. That's awesome. Okay, let's do one thing. Something that we do all the time during every live stream. If you support Trump, write Trump 2024. If you support Trump, write Trump 2024. Tom writes, thank you for all you do. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that so very much. Duarte writes Trump 2024. Andrea writes Trump 2024. Shaylin writes Trump 2024. Hazy writes Trump 2024. Turbo writes Trump 2024. Angie Mitchell writes Trump Vance 24. Michael Brown writes Trump 2024. Always good to see Michael Brown. Danielle writes Trump Vance 2024. HW also supports Trump. Owen Williams supports Trump. Heidi Smith. Hold on. Heidi writes Trump 2024. America First writes Trump 2024. Tom writes Trump 2024. Angie writes Trump. Claudia Greenwood writes Trump 2024. David writes Trump 2024. Nature writes Trump 2024. Robert Graham writes Trump 2024. The Signkeeper writes Trump 2024. William Miller writes Trump 2024. Rebecca Johnson writes Trump 24. Off My Lawn writes Trump 2024. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Gianna writes Trump 2024. Charlie Watson writes Trump 20. Overwhelming support for Trump. Can you see that? Can you see it? Overwhelming support for Donald J. Trump. That's why I say, my friends, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. So 96 likes on this video so far. Can I get 4 more? Can we get to 100? And would you please subscribe? My live stream is for tonight. I think it's coming to a conclusion. But please, please vote in the poll. I'm going to end the poll. All right. I'm going to end the poll and report the results. Democrat Tim Walz wants to abolish the Electoral College. Do you support or oppose Walz's idea? Support or oppose? Okay, I'm going to end the poll and report the results. End poll. 405 votes, 69% opposed, 30% support. All right, my friends. All right. Question is, Democrat Tim Walz wants to abolish the Electoral College. Do you support or oppose Walz's idea? I oppose Walz's idea, and 69% said they oppose, only 30% support. So that's the poll. 405 votes altogether. 69% oppose as well. So I also oppose Walz. So thank you so much. Claudette writes, Tossif, this is a mega channel. You're fooling yourself. We will wait till November 5. You're going to cry. Let me ask you, friends, do you think I'm going to cry on election night? Do you think I'm going to cry? Or do you think I'm going to cheer and celebrate? Right cheer, right celebrate if you think I'm going to cheer and celebrate on election night. Charlie writes, tears of joy. Charlie, that is such a fabulous answer. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Claudette, you think I'm going to cry on election night? As Charlie said, I may be crying. But it's going to be tears of joy. I'm going to be so happy that Trump wins that I may cry. You may see tears running down my face. Those will be tears of joy. William Miller also writes tears of joy. Tears of joy. Okay? And then I'm going to applaud. I'm going to celebrate. Cheers, everyone. We're going to win. Trump's going to win. November 5th. Michael Brown writes, landslide Trump. Absolutely. Landslide victory for Trump. Rebecca writes, cheers. William Miller writes, election night stream. I would love to do an election night stream. Too early to commit to one, but if you think I should do an election night stream, let me know. I think it'll be great. Election night stream will be great. All right. Okay, my friends, I'm going to bring this live stream to an end here. I appreciate all of you supporting me. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you so very much. Okay. All right, my friends, thank you so very much for joining. I had a very long day. I need to go get some sleep. Thank you for your support. Thank you so very much, my friends. Gerlina, thank you so very much. Michael Brown, Shaylin, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Angie Mitchell, Heidi Smith, Turbo, everyone, okay? Rebecca Johnson. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Laura Floyd. I don't know if Laura Floyd's here. Thank you, everyone. Let's remember William Miller. Thank you, William. We're going to have to vote for Trump 2024. Make America great again. Make America great again, my friends. It is already October 11th, 2024. It's already Friday. Friday night, 11 p.m. I will be back with another live stream. I try to do a live stream each and every day at 11 p.m. Central Time. When I say 11 p.m., it is Central Time. So if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, it's midnight. If you're in the Mountain Time Zone, it's 10 p.m. If you're in the Pacific Time Zone, it's 9 p.m. So set your clock accordingly. Set your alarm accordingly. Please support this channel. Hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Tell your friends, tell your family members, tell your neighbors about this channel. Ask them to tune in. Ask them to watch my videos. And you can share my video links on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Truth Social. Please share links to my videos with your friends, family members, and your neighbors. Support this channel, my friends. Support this channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you. So I'll be back again. I'm going to go get some rest. I'm going to go sleep. And then I'll be back again. So thank you to everyone who joined. I appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, let's remember, we can disagree, but we must treat each other with respect, because it's all about having a conversation and sharing our views, sharing our thoughts, and having a constructive dialogue. So we can agree, we can disagree, but we have to respect each other and be nice to each other. So thank you, my friends. Thank you for joining. I'll be back again soon. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you. Have a good night, my friends. I'll be back again soon. Thank you.